A very quick clarification before this starts. Basically, the initial plan for the series would be I would basically do all my work off camera and then come back once every now and again to show my progress and explain it. I sort of decided on a format change towards the end of the making of this one. So basically this one's going to be a little disjointed, a little out of place, but the next one I'm working on is going to be a lot more structured, a lot more planned out, to the point that I've even got a spreadsheet that I've made up for it. So yeah, this one's going to be a little bit all over the place, but the next one should be a bit more structured. Thank you very much for watching, and continue with the video. Hello and welcome back to All the Mods 9. In this video, I'll be showing my progress on my new survival playthrough. This will be taking the place of the Enigmatica 2 expert playthrough that I was doing, just because for some reason the mod pack's broken, and apparently a lot of people are having this issue where they can't play it and I can't play it. So, and because it's a lot more complex than what I'm used to, I'm still trying to like sort of learn what I'm doing and going through that process before I really want to sort of start teaching people what I'm doing. So I'll be starting with something I'm a little more familiar with, which is All the Mods 9. So what we have right now is basically just our starter setup. What I've got here is my chests full of all my items. I've been using the ore hammer to duplicate the ores into ore dusts, and I've currently got this iron furnace automatic smelter setup. So I put the dusts in here, and then I've got the back set to input, I've got the front set to output, and then left will eventually be fuel input, and then yeah, so it automatically smelts my ores and puts them in this chest. So my current plan of action is to get a wind generator, just so I can get basic power, so I can get a better, faster, more optimized smelting setup for the time being. And so that's currently my current plan. I'll keep you updated as I go along. And so basically the idea of this video will be that I will keep you updated with every step of the process and explain my exact layout and how everything works. So instead of showing the individual of me building things, it's sort of I will build everything off camera and then I'll bring you guys back and explain how everything works. So yeah, I'm going to go get started on that wind generator now. So we've made a little bit more progress since the last update I did. It's been a few hours. First thing first, we've got this setup. It's basically a bulk ore processing setup using Create. So I've got some encased fans behind it. Oh, how am I on fire? I barely even touched it. Hold up, let me get in some water real quick. There we go. All right, so essentially how this setup works is basically, to start off with, we have 3 water wheels right here. These are generating 256 stress units, I believe, altogether. Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then if we look at the back here, I've got some water powering it. And then this is where things... So basically, I've got a little bit of a weird setup. This shouldn't be there, but that's besides the point. So besides that, I've got 3 cogwheels going. So this one goes in the direction of the water wheel. This one changes the direction. This one changes the direction back. This isn't really too important because directionality isn't really what's important here. I have a gearbox which changes the direction of the input from going like this to like that, and that's used to power all these shafts along here to power our encased fans, of which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have 8. And underneath we've got a second conveyor belt. This one is used to... This one, there's probably a better way of doing this, but basically I've got this one powering either side of the main conveyor out the front, just so I can use the rotational power from back here and move it all the way up here. It's probably a faster way to do it, or a more efficient way to do it, but it's basically just the idea of you've got you have to like sort of give both ends rotational power, and this is the most efficient way I know to get the rotational power from one end to the other, so it can be transferred on to this belt. And it keeps setting me on fire, even though I'm not even that close to it, which is a bit frustrating, to be honest. So yeah, it's not the most efficient setup in the world. It's got some room for improvement, but I've decided that I want to focus more on like the immersive engineering, the more create side of this mod pack first, because I haven't really messed with them too much. It's usually stuff like AE2, Mekanism, and whatnot. So yeah, this is my setup currently I've got going. 2 andesite funnels on each end. This is actually pissing me off. I don't know why it keeps setting me on fire. That's really frustrating. There we go. All right, but yeah, that's my my setup currently. Input chest here, output chest down there, which I do need to upgrade. I've got a basic wheat setup going. And then what we have here is basically, so I initially had this lava or this heat generator set up. This was only so I could get the resources needed to make the wind generator, because I believe they're a lot faster than the heat generator is. And this is the metallurgic infuser that I was using to get the resources. So I was using it to infuse iron and osmium with redstone to get infused alloy and control circuits, which are used to craft these. So in total, I think I need... so this one came as a reward from a quest. This one was just the one I crafted, so that's why I have 2 of them. So for example, we'll go wind generator. So to craft this, what I ended up needing was 3 osmium, which is pretty easy. This infused alloy, which was iron and redstone. And then control circuits, which was osmium and redstone. And these energy tablets, which is more infused alloy, more redstone and some gold. So I've currently got nothing processing, but this is my my early smelting setup. I reckon it'll be probably faster than this one once it's all set up, but this is more fun to set up in my opinion, and I want to focus on more like large scale automation instead of just 1 block answers if I can. But basically how this works is I believe I explained it earlier, but it's like the back is the input, front is the output, and it just automatically goes through. But I've also got it set up with a factory upgrade, so now it's powered by electricity instead of by a coal, which means I don't have to waste as much coal on that. So the next step in the plan, now that I've got all this set up, I've also got this here, hopper botany pot for kelp to use for the belts for this system. So yeah, the plan is currently to sort of expand more of what I've already got already, some more ore processing, maybe some like light production, like maybe have some steel production going in immersive engineering, so get like a coke oven and a blast furnace set up. But they're really slow, so I'm not entirely sure yet. But this is my progress so far. I've got quite a few items. I've got a lot of ores that need processing. I've got a lot of random ass junk that I haven't actually fucking used for anything. A lot of random junk. Like there's stuff from Ender.io, there's stuff from Farmer's Delight, stuff from Ars Nouveau, Corel Tombstone, Matacraft Repressurized. I've also been going through some of the quests. I think that was a quest reward, was that advanced control circuit. Apparently I've killed 10 zombies as well. So yeah, basically, so far I've not really done much of this, not much of this. I've gone through some of the basics of like getting started, like copper botany pots, crafting table on stick, which is really good. Next up should be a little bit of power after I've done some more create stuff, because I'm quite enjoying the create stuff. For the other, I'll take that. I've also been going a lot into, obviously, create, a little bit of mechanism. I believe there should be an immersive engineering page, shouldn't there? I could have sworn there was one for IE. Because you need it for the railgun, don't you? Whatever it's called. Yeah, it's the, oh, what? I haven't made this in a while. I never actually made this on my first playthrough because it wasn't part of the rest. Yeah, the railgun from Immersive Engineering. There used to be a quest page for it. Maybe I'm blind, but I don't see it anywhere. Exploration, magic. Oh, that'll be useful to have. I didn't know that they added a thing for this. I also am considering getting in some Gregtech. Considering the quest book seems decently expansive, and it'll add a little bit more playtime onto this playthrough. Yeah, there's nothing for immersive engineering, which is really strange because I could have sworn there was a quest page for it. Maybe I'm just going insane. But yeah, so that's what I've got set up. I'm gonna do some more work and then I'll be back once that work's done. All right, little bit of an update. So basically what we've done is we've got a nether portal set up, taking us to the nether. That's pretty self-explanatory, a little bit of cactus farm going on. We've moved our base a little bit, so as you can see, it's a lot bigger now, and it's also expanded out a little bit. We've also moved most of the stuff over here. I still have my iron furnace set up over here. Don't really use it that much now that I have this. I've also got this energy cell that I use to charge my copper jetpack that I crafted. I've got all my storage a bit more organized, got some kelp going into here. This chest is for ingots, for the most part. There's a few random ores in there. This is just for random other non-ingot valuables, I guess. Like emeralds, diamonds, quartz, that sort of stuff. Here's like our non-stackable items, stuff that I didn't want to take up storage everywhere else. Some building blocks, some plant stuff, and some just miscellaneous. We've also got a productive bees set up. started. We haven't really done much with it yet. Ooh, honeycomb, take that. Haven't really done much of that yet. I sort of just grabbed the bee when I saw it and then left it here. I've also got this harvester setup going on. It's a bit slow right now, but as you can see, I've got some inferium and some wheat. Harvester pile underneath. I intend to speed this up at some point, but I haven't got around to it yet. Now, this is where the real fun begins. So, I've swapped out my water wheels for 2 motors, which, as you can see, everything's really cramped right now. So basically how this setup works. So we have our primary setup over here. This motor, or both of the motors are working together. So this, and they all flow in the same direction, I believe, because of these cogwheels. So this motor is usually just for smelting setup. So as you can see, it's taking the stress units here, here, and then here, and it's being transmitted left by a gearbox, which is used to rotate all this shit, and then our encased fans and whatnot. But now we also have 2 crushing wheels, which this was very fun to set up. As you can see, I'm still learning, so my methods for changing the direction for certain things was a bit unorthodox, but basically how it works is we have, from our thing here, we have a cogwheel going up, rotating this gearbox, which I've rotated so that, as you can see, it's not actually connected to this gearbox. So this gearbox is rotated so that this side is actually blank, but it rotates this gearbox, because this one changes the direction, this one changes it again. That means that this goes this way, and I use this belt to transfer the rotational power onto this belt, which then goes into this andesite funnel, into another andesite funnel, into this chest here, which I just use to move it from here to there. And then I use I use this gearbox here, along with this gearbox here, which is connected to that cog there, to transmit the stress units, like so. So this is used to power the belts going this way. This is a bit of a pain to set up because you have to have 3 segmented belts to go up. So I had to figure out a way to sort of use this belt to power sort of this one and this one to like get them to rotate. Then I used a gearbox setup to get the rotational energy. The rotational energy down to here. So this one is just used for this, and then these 2 gearboxes is used for this one. This one was a bit confusing because I used the one from over here and used the second gearbox to shift the direction, so it pulls it all this way. This is just used to change the directions as well. This one was fun. This whole area was a bit of a pain to set up. So I'm using some gearboxes. This one is blank, so it's not connecting because the rotational energy is going the wrong way. So we have it set to this one, which is going the right way, which is being transmitted to a belt, which is being transmitted to another belt. This one down here is just powered by this. This belt here is powering both of these through these gearboxes, which is being powered by another belt connected to these cogwheels, connected to our main line. It's very confusing. It's not a finished setup either. Like, it works for right now. However, let's just chuck some osmium in, for example. I believe osmium works. So we'll let it go in. It's being crushed, now it's coming out. But the thing is, we're getting these nuggets of experience, and that's the issue. So what we need to do is, so not only we get nuggets of experience, but you also sometimes get netherrack. Now, I need to figure out a way to sort them off of the main line, because that's where our real issue is right now with this setup, is that, especially the gold nuggets, because the gold ore is smelted into gold nuggets, or is crushed into gold nuggets, which then have to be crafted into gold ingots. Sorry, as you can see, these are going in here, being smelted and being deposited in our chest. But that's besides the point for right now. So we need to figure out a way. So I've got this set up. I'm going to have this one pulling out experience orbs, and I might have this one down here pull out gold nuggets, have them sent into an automatic crafter, because I have a bunch of them in here from making the crushing wheels. I learned the hard way, you only need to make 1, not 2. So I made 2. Now I have an extra 2 crushing wheels that I don't know what to do with. So now I need to figure out a way to split the nuggets of experience and the gold nuggets off of this system into their own separate storage chests, and then from there I'll figure things out. I was tempted to use like just logistical cables to make my life easier, but I decided this would be a bit more fun. Just because I've used logistical cables before, I've used an XNet before, I've used bloody everything under the sun before, except laser IO. But I wanted to try to use the actual mod itself's capabilities, and this was really, like, it's not optimized, it's not efficient, it's not the best way you could possibly do it. There's probably a better way to do it, but it was fun as fuck to set up. This heat generator's still down here chilling. But yeah, so far that's what we've got set up. I'll check back in on you guys once we've done a bit more work, and I think right now the main focus I'm going to do is ore gen, or resource generation. That and getting hopefully a basic ME system going, but that might be a little bit far off right now. So right now it's just focusing on ore generation. So once I've got a sort of setup, I'll like come back in a couple hours once I've got something new set up. I might not even do that. That might be something completely different, but there you go. All right, so now what we've got set up is, so I've moved everything. Let me just grab my jetpack real quick. Right, it's a bit low on, so I'm running some energy issues. So basically, I've moved everything from being a sort of lawn base into a more like built-up base sort of thing. So I'm going with these cobbled deep slate beams for my floors and ceilings, and then just some spruce logs dividing the chunks. So this is all chunk aligned. Each of these, like, so this marks the boundaries of one chunk, this marks the boundaries of another chunk type of shit. Get rid of that. So, what progress have I made? I found a meteorite. I've got some Certus buds growing. That's pretty cool. I've got a reactor going with some uranitite because my wind turbines were not producing enough energy, and this one is stuck on something. That's not good. Let's fix that real quick. What? Now can you go? There we go. That should produce a bit more power now, I think. Okay. And then I've also moved my entire create setup up here, and it's a lot more streamlined now. So I have my initial motors here. They're powering this belt down here, which takes the items. It's also powering this belt back here, which is for all my encased fans. And then some gearboxes to transfer that rotational energy over to that. And then all the way over here, we have, so this is the output chest of our smeltery. That goes directly into my ingot storage chest. Then I've got a gearbox and then a belt there and then another gearbox. This is taking the rotational power up, which is allowing this to be powered. This is my crushing setup, and that's going down into here, which is then being pulled up into here. This isn't working for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why it's not working, but it's not pulling the XP, so it's just getting burnt. I don't really care. I don't really care about the XP, but it works. Well, that doesn't work, but everything else works, so that's all I care about. And it's useful for duping items as well, because I believe you can get up to 4 iron ingots per iron ore. That's why I've got this brass pickaxe to sort of help me mine with silk touch. Chuck that back in my backpack for right now, though. So yeah, this is my create setup so far. It's working pretty well. I've got the basics of an AE setup going. I'm running to the issue of power on all of these, and also resources. I need more diamonds, need more gold, need more Certus quartz. Certus quartz is going to be the real bitch right now. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to go about that, but I'll figure it out. Apart from that, I've got 2 yellow carpenter bees in here. I just found them idly in the wild. Don't really know what they're used for. Why are these not being harvested? Oh wait, they are. But yeah, so far that's everything I've got set up. My next plan is more power. So I think I'm going to get some Mekanism stuff and get a gas burning generator up and running. That's my next plan. And I'll update you then. Thank you for watching so far. Alright, we've made a decent amount of progress since my last check-in. And I realized while explaining that one that I didn't really do a good job of explaining how everything works, so I'll do my best to sort of fix that this time. To start off with, we've got a basic ME system set up. We've got our crafting terminal. This is connected via Fluix ME glass cable into the controller. This is what's providing the channels. Underneath this drive, we have an energy cell, and then right here is an energy acceptor. So if you remember, this converts energy from other mods into the AE, I believe, that is used by Applied Energistics. I've also got this storage bus on this chest to use as a bit of extra storage because I've only got a few drives right now. Slowly managing to fill them up. I've also got quite a few Certus. Ooh, there's another cluster. A few Certus blocks growing. I got these from the meteorite. Along with, that's also where I got the Skystone, which I used to craft this ME controller. So that's how this setup is currently set up. I've also got, so our smelting setup, go into this ME interface. What this ME interface does is it allows the items that are exported from this chest to flow into here, and then automatically be placed inside of our storage system. These are just kept out of the way because I don't know how to use them yet, and they're taking up like they're one point of storage each. Like they're all separate items with different NBT data. So it's really not really a good idea to have them inside my system. Also got these Easter eggs that keep popping up, which is annoying. I haven't moved all my storage in yet, just because I don't think I have enough room. There's nothing really in these chests that I need desperately at any given moment. Yeah, nothing. I've also got this over here. This is our area for bees. So I've decided to go with a mixture of bees and MA, or mystical agriculture, for my resource generation. So to start off with, I just have a basic 3 bee setup and this breeding chamber. This uses 2 flowers plus 2 bees in cages. I need to put a new cage here to capture the breeded bee, but since it's 2 bees being bred together, it's just going to give us another bee, so it's nothing special. It's being powered by a universal cable underneath. This is an advanced oak beehive as well, so it's a bit better for automation, but we'll get back to that a little bit later because it's not really time for me to set up that. It's a little more resource intensive. And then we have, for Mekanism, all of our metallurgic infusers, which speaking of, let me get these out. So basically I've got one for every item that I might need. So this one will be for control circuits. This one will be used for, or these 2 will be used for steel. So enriched iron and then steel dust. And then the infused alloy, reinforced alloy, and atomic alloy. And this one will be used for refined obsidian, I believe, yeah, refined obsidian, because you need a metallurgic infuser from refined obsidian, if I remember correctly. But I haven't got those set up yet. I haven't got them automated yet. They're just like there for when I need them. We've got our reactor. It's since run out of uraninite, so it's kind of not really being used for anything right now, but it looks cool, so I keep it. Our inscriber set up from earlier. None of this has been automated yet. And then some extra inscribers because I found a second meteorite. So for the most part, none of this stuff has any form of automation yet. So let's talk about what we do have automated. So we've got the aforementioned iron furnace setup. That one's pretty self-explanatory, if I imagine at least. And we've got a couple wind generators. These are all going into these universal cables. Part of them, and this is basically a buffer cube, so it's set on the side config to input and output onto this cable, so it can input and it can also output energy. Those are going underneath as well to power all of our stuff, so it's powering our ME system over there, it's powering our inscribers and our charger, and our metallurgic infuser, and also our breeding chamber. Now let's sort of explain how this works a bit better, because I didn't do a very good job last night when I explained it. So basically we have 2 motors. Both of them produce rotational energy. These can actually be sped up at an energy cost, however, that's not really a good idea for reasons I'll get to in a second. So these both provide rotational energy. The reason we have 2 of them is because all of these systems require rotational energy. Everything here requires rotational energy. If we took one of them off, then all that rotational energy would have to be provided by one of them. Well, yes, it has the power for that. It doesn't have the sort of torque, I guess. So if this was trying to rotate everything, it just wouldn't have enough sort of torque, I guess, to power it all by itself. That's why we have 2 of them. So this provides enough rotational energy that everything can use it. Now, we've got these encased fans here. How these are set up is we've got obviously the encased fans here, and they're set to be going this way. So that means it's blowing. If it was going the other way, it'd be pulling. But how do I get the rotational energy from down there to up here? That's how this belt comes into play. This takes the rotational energy and just transmits it up. And then these gearboxes do the similar thing, except these gearboxes reverse it. So this one is turning the direction of this belt. This one's turning in the opposite direction, if you can see. And then this one is turning back in the original direction. Then I've got this side coming out. I've just got another shaft and a gearbox. This is just used to transmit the energy, the rotational power over a long distance, which is from there to here, and the same from here to there. Now these 2 gearboxes, the way they are set up, is this one is going in the same direction as... Sorry, it's going the opposite direction. Oh no, sorry. So this one makes it go in the opposite direction. This one rotates it back to the same direction as this one, which allows this belt attached to it, which you can see is being rotated there, to go into here. These funnels are automatic. And then this one over here reverses it again. This is so that we can have it go this way instead. So now it's being reversed, as you can see, it's going this way like that. I've got this belt transmitting the power upwards, and I've got 2 gearboxes to transmit the power sideways, or the rotational energy sideways. And those are being used, or that's just being used for this belt. I've also got another set of gearboxes. Oh, sorry, these are shafts, but they're encased in, well, this is a shaft encased in andesite casing, just for aesthetic purposes. Here's another gearbox. So this is the same direction, new direction, same direction, which allows it to go like this. Now, the reason I have two gearboxes here is because the crushing wheels have to have different rotational power. So one of them has to rotate like this, as you can see. One of them has to rotate like this, as you can see. So it allows them to crush into each other. Then I've got the funnel going in and out the bottom. Now this automatically drops the items in. As you can see, the arrow is pointing down. This one is placed on top of the chest, so not underneath the crushing wheel. If you try to place it underneath the crushing wheels directly, like on the crushing wheels, then it's not going to connect to the chest. So you want to place it on top of the chest, facing down. A little bit confusing. Now we've got this gearbox to rotate the energy from going the opposite direction back into this direction, so it allows it to port this way. And then this belt is used to transmit the rotational energy from here to here, because obviously there's this gap in the middle. So this one rotates this one, which then rotates this one, which then rotates this one. And this gearbox is used to change the direction yet again, so it can pull so that this belt can go in the direction of this barrel, which is where our nuggets of experience are, which is now working. I don't know why. This belt takes the rotational energy and puts it over here, where it's put into another gearbox, which will keep the same direction, opposite direction, keep the same direction, which will allow the belt to go this way into the chest. So yeah, it's pretty. It was a bit of a pain to set up, but once you have like a sort of idea of which things go which direction, and I sort of planned this out a bit better than the last one. The other one I sort of just, oh crap, I need to fit this in here, but I didn't think it through before I did it. This one I did a lot more planning, because I accidentally had, my first initial design was too far back, which meant I couldn't really do much because I only had like one block here, and then the encased fans were like here, like right where, like right would be attached to these. So it didn't really make any sense because it was hard to move that rotational energy around. So I moved them further forward, put the lava in, and then oh shit, let me get some water real quick. I can't believe I fell into that. So basically, yeah, the idea of the setup is something goes in the crushing at the top, this goes down into here, through into here, through into here, oops, let's get back down, and then over through here, and then directly into our ME system. Now, it's a bit difficult, so I sort of like have to do a bit of micromanaging for the time being when it comes to which ores I put where. For example, iron ore can go in perfectly fine. There are some extra blocks that get wasted in the process. I don't really care. They're mostly just random stone blocks. That doesn't really matter to me. The experience is getting split off. However, I can't put gold in here, because yes, it'll duplicate gold to an extent. It'll produce 10, I believe, for every... will produce 10 nuggets for every raw gold. The problem with that is that it does the same thing for the ore. And in that, so I mean, it's not technically creating crushed gold ore, which can't be smelted. So the nuggets will automatically go down here, and into there. They'll just be incinerated. They'll be destroyed. So how I do it is, if an ore is something that's not going to be able to work with the crushing wheels, then I just manually put it in here. If it will work with the crushing wheels, then I put it up there. Something like diamonds, for example, I'll put in like the 3 or 4 diamonds that I find on a mining trip into there, and then I'll just sit here and just take them off the belt as they come through, because the crushing wheel duplicates the diamonds to an extent. So if you have a look here, it'll produce 1 diamond and a 75% chance a second diamond. Oh, it produces gold as well. Interesting. So yeah, that's how this is all set up. I hope that made a bit more sense than the last explanation. The last explanation I did was last night at like 1 in the morning when I was super tired, so it didn't really come out the way I intended. So the next order of business is getting a little bit more automation going. So I want to get some more... oh, sorry, one other thing before we go on to that. I've got this down here. So I've got an ME interface, which takes items, and I've got a few hopper botany bots. These ones are just producing inferium. This one's producing mineral. This one's producing, these two are producing flax, which I'm going to use for string and wool in the future, because you need string and wool for a lot of the cables for AE. And we've also got some spruce saplings just for a better source of wood, because I currently don't have enough wood. And basically what I've done is I've used this configurator here to set them all the logistical cables to pull at the bottom. Now, why have I used logistical cables? It's just a temporary thing. So this playthrough I want to be a lot more lag friendly, and logistical cables are like, at a small scale, they're not really that bad for lag. I'm still running at 130 FPS, but large scale, they ruin your frame rate. So I'm going to try and move more into XNet or modular routers, or even I've heard good things about laser IO from a comment on one of my previous videos, so I'm going to try that a little bit. So yeah, that's what we've got set up so far. For right now, we're going to focus on expanding our AE system a little bit more, or our ME system, sorry. Focus a little bit more on resource generation as well. So bees and also mystical agriculture. So I'll update you with any progress I make. All right, another small update to show some of the progress I've made. So we'll get to this in a second. This is temporary. We'll get to that in a second. To start off with, what I've done is, instead of having this belt running everywhere, yada, 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 I have XNet now. So basically, the contents of my crushing wheels, like everything that they create, goes into this chest. Then we have a controller down here. Ignore this for right now. And then, so basically this, on this channel, we extract all the crushed ores and import them into the chest over there, that then funnels into our smelting setup. Over here we have stuff like diamonds, redstone, coal, lapis, emeralds, nether quartz, and nuggets of experience, which are inserted into an ME interface. This is, I'm going to set to like the random blocks that get created, but so far it seems to just be working without me having set this up, so I'm kind of just ignoring this for right now. So yeah, basically each channel, so that channel extracts from here and then inserts into here or over here into this ME interface, depending on how I want. Now, we've also got a few more drives going. Actually, no, I think this is the same amount we had last time. But here's where the real fun starts. So we've got basic bees set up, which, speaking of, I need to quickly grab you out and put you here. So we've got some slimy bees going for some slime balls. Where did all my... Oh, I thought my bees disappeared. Okay. Powered centrifuge and a breeding chamber. This is another controller. It's inserting slimy comb into the centrifuge and extracting slime balls, or should be extracting slime balls out. I haven't got it set up yet. These beehives are set to automatically, because I haven't got them separated into their individual ones, there's a bit of ones in each, so I've got both of them set to extract slimy comb and honeycomb in here. And also honey bottles as well. Oh, this one's supposed to extract slimy comb as well, but should be right. And then they're both set to import into the ME interface, which if we go all the way down here, we've got another cable running into the interface from behind. We've also got this. I don't know if I showed this last time. It's a basic auto crafting setup. I haven't actually started anything yet because I need more Certus. We'll worry about that soon. That's not really important right now. What is important is I got this. So this is a cave creeper mob swap. I basically used a mob swap on a cave creeper. And now I want to make, use one of my spawners that I have. Spawner. Yeah, use one of my spawners to start producing cave creepers for automatic resource generation. Now, I ran into some issues with this because, so if we go here, mob swap, basically, we need any of these buckets. However, getting them is a bit of a pain in the ass. So initially, I thought I would just use the create fluid experience. So I set up this. I've got, I had the XP nuggets going into here, into this disenchanter, being pumped into this fluid tank. I thought I'd just use that. Turns out you can't use liquid experience. So what I did is I pumped it all back out through a spout into some bottles of experience. I'll grab those later. And then I have those bottles of experience going into the centrifugal separator, which creates like, I believe it was the industrial foregoing essence. No, it wasn't. It was the COFH essence. I don't know if it's, yeah. COFH essence of knowledge, which I then have going into this thermopneumatic processing plant. The way I did this is I've gotten a bunch of like compressed iron from random chests, like loot chests. So use that to craft the thermopneumatic processing plant. And then I've got an air compressor with a security upgrade, so we have enough pressure, and some magenta wool in there. So So yeah, so basically I had all that fluid go into here with some magenta wool, and the magenta wool converts it into this stuff, which is the just normal essence, which is the stuff we can actually, this is the industrial foregoing essence, which we put in a bucket here, gets encapsulated into a bucket of essence. That was way too many steps, but what we're going to do now is we're going to pop that in and GM chicken feed. So now what we're going to do is, actually I don't have a chicken anywhere, so what I'm going to have to do is find a chicken, bring it back here, give it some GM chicken feed, let it pop out a cave creeper spawn egg, and then set up a mob grinding farm. But yeah, it took me a long time to get that set up, because I spent a while figuring out how this worked, because I forgot about the mechanical pump. And I'm like, oh, I'll just use the spout and the liquid experience. Turns out you can't use liquid experience. So yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass, but we managed to get it all sorted out eventually. So yeah, that's my progress so far. This is all temporary, like all of this is getting ripped out soon. And I'm also going to just rip all this out as well, because it was only temporary. I don't really need it right now, but obviously I don't want to get rid of the valuable stuff that I have in here. So got to get it all out, get it stored somewhere, and then maybe I can just move. Oh, I can. Oh, that's very useful. Wait, is it moving back over by itself? Oh, I thought it was. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna move everything over, get everything stored up, and destroy all this, because this is just temporary, so I can get that one bucket of experience. And I'll keep you guys updated with any progress I make. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Alright, a lot has changed since we were last here. First things first, I killed the warden and got the teleport pad. Went to the other, found like a pyramid pretty close to spawn, and got some decent gear. And then I built this. This is where I'm farming cave creepers. It's not very good yet because they've changed a lot of the modifiers, which makes it a lot harder. But should be right for right now. I also went to the end and killed the ender dragon to get the dragon egg so I can remove the spawn conditions, so I can have this up here. It's not really giving us too much right now. It's kind of rubbish, but I'll figure that out in the future. That's not really important right now. I don't really care about that. Let's have a look down here. So we have a little bit of a setup. Hello. Ah, he's gone. Yeah, for some reason, I think an armor set I have on causes like, or maybe it's repellent where like enemies get teleported when they hit me. But I've got this down here. So basically, I've got Certus quartz seeds growing in here, going into this buffer chest. I'm gonna grab that out for later. Filtering out the essence into here. It's very slow, but I'll speed it up as time goes along. In here we have stone, dirt, stone and dirt seeds, and eventually I'm going to get fire and water seeds, just so I can mass produce concrete, and then also some dye seeds, hopefully at some point in the semi-near future. This is still running pretty well. I've managed to get I left this running AFK overnight, and got like a couple thousand Inferium, so now I'm down, or now I'm up to, I think, 3 Insanium. I just need 1 more, so I can get the Master Infusion Crystal, so I can fully automate Mystical Agriculture. I've also got this Infusion Altar up here that I've been using for right now. What else do we have? So, create setup's still pretty much the same. Not really much has changed. I don't know how that's gotten there. That's very strange. Everything over here is mostly the same. Everything in there is mostly the same. I've got this gentleman here to buy flowers. Down here is where we've gotten started on some Greg tech. So, I said in one of my previous videos that I wasn't really a big fan of Greg tech, and someone in the comments was very upset about that. But I have been trying a little bit. The Steam Age stuff does make sense to me, for the most part. It took me a while to figure out that you could only output Steam through the top of these. So I was wondering, like, why isn't anything full of Steam? I don't get how this works, but I've managed to sort of figure it out a little bit. So these are my low-pressure steam solid boilers. They boil coal and water to create steam. And then I've got a macerator here for some wood pulp. I've got a compressor here for some wooden planks. I've got steam extractor. I believe that's for steam extractor. Yeah, for raw rubber pulp, which I think you need rubber wood for. Which I don't think my rubber trees have grown, so I'm gonna cut down these later. You can't botany pot them, which is a bit shit, but should be right. Got this right here for our glass tubes. this low pressure steam alloy smelter with a casting mold. This setup here. Oh, so all three of these alloy smelters. This one is, I believe, for rubber ingots. This one's for rubber plates, or rubber sheets, sorry. So how does this all work? So basically, we have a sink right here from cooking for blockheads, which produces infinite water. This goes underneath our two low pressure steam solid boilers, fills them with water, and then a simple hopper and a chest to fill them with coal. Still got a little bit of coal left, so I don't need to top them up quite yet. And then how this works is basically, let me grab a wrench to show. So figuring out how to do cabling in this mod is a bit confusing because it's very configurable, but it also, like, things don't connect by default. So for example, let's go like here. If we go like this, they're not going to connect to each other. We use a wrench, and now they do connect to each other. So that's sort of like something that took me a little while to get used to, was that whole idea of, oh shit, I just knocked something out of my backpack. That whole idea of having to use the wrench to configure the cables, but it worked out in the end, and everything is set up just for a simple input and output. So I fill up this chest with X item, this chest with X item, and get Y item. So this one, I believe, is just wooden planks to get wooden pulp. I put this wooden pulp into here, and that creates these wooden planks. I've also got each of these set to output their steam on the side, because all steam machines require like somewhere to vent the steam. So for example, if I set it to like, I don't think I can configure it to this. I set it to this side. Now it'll come out this side. Sorry, it won't come out of this side. It'll come out this side. This needs to be an unobstructed air block so that the steam can sort of like get out. These are ULV, which means it's ultra low voltage, I'm pretty sure. So our next tier would be LV, which needs these basic electronic circuits. Most of this stuff I have semi-automation for, but not quite yet. I'm not really going to focus on that much until I get to the point of like, I could set up a better AE2 system. Yeah, because like I need a bit more auto crafting before I can sort of go into LV. That's why I've got this Certus set up here. That's why I'm also going to expand it with more Certus seeds, so that I can get more Certus quartz. Because once I have more applied energistics, then it makes it easier to automate everything. And then I can also, once I've got some more like resource generation going, I can start building my base proper, which the plan is currently a void base. So using the teleport pad to get to, I believe it's called the Beyond, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Ultimodium. I don't know how I haven't got this. Oh wait, no I have. Okay. So yeah, the Beyond, which is basically just a void dimension, which is my next plan of action. So yeah, so far that's all I've gotten set up. It's taken me quite a while. It's been a while since my last update. But I'll keep working and I'll let you know how things go. You may notice things look a little bit different here. As you can see, almost everything is gone. The reason for that is, off camera, I've been doing a little bit of work. Ooh, Certus course. I've been doing a little bit of work on a new base. This will be our main base for right now, at least, until we can get a solid like void base going, which is the plan eventually. But yeah, this one sort of I'm gonna leave for the time being. The reason for that is just because it's inconvenient. Well, I want to expand, but having to deal with this snow everywhere is so unbelievably frustrating. So right now there's still a few things left here that aren't really that important. I do need to move this at some point. Let's see how this is looking, by the way. A lot of shrimp somehow, but strangely nothing that I was hoping would come out of a cave creeper spawner. So it seems like this was a bit of a bust. But let's have a look at the base. So where is it? Here. Here we go. So to start off with, up here we have some wind generators for power. Of course they're stuck again, as these things tend to go. Why are they not working? What is going on? I have no idea. I have to figure that out. But for the time being, so that's going down into here. This is the entrance to our base. It's a big like circle hole in the wall. This is actually a 16 by 16. I had this aligned to the chunk, which was pretty fun. I found that pretty cool. So we have a look here. See, it's chunk aligned. So each wall touches the top and sides of a chunk. Oh, not top. Chunks don't have tops, but that's besides the point. Up here we've got our controller and a dense smart cable going that way. And then some little energy wiring. It's still a lot of it. This is a work in progress. This is just what's going to work for right now, and I'll upgrade things as I go along. Got our storage, but the thing is, where is our drives? Where is our crafting storage? Well, if we have a look down here, this is my applied Energistics hallway for right now. So right now I've got 2 crafting CPUs on this side. I've got my 2 molecular assemblers and extended pattern providers. These are going to be expanded, sorry. So I'm probably going to have like 8 going down there, and surrounded by molecular assemblers on all sides. Then we've got our drives, which, why are these offline? What's going on? Oh, my system's turned off. Alright, I'm gonna have to fix whatever's causing that. But for right now, it should be right. In here we've got our mechanism set up. Now, with this, so I was told by a comment that you can automate metallurgical fuses by placing a ME pattern provider on top and then setting the top to I/O, like input-output. This does not work for me. I've tried it, every single configuration, I can't figure out how to automate. I can do it with a crusher, but for metallurgical infusers, this just doesn't work, especially since you need to get the infuse type in, and logistical cables won't extract from the pattern provider. So, not sure, but this works for right now, and it does the job just as well. I've got everything with a pattern, so I've got stuff from diamond dust to refined obsidian ingots to obsidian dust, everything. Over here, we have my favorite part. This was very satisfying to make because I've always struggled with the issue. Oh, that might be where my power stopped. Okay, yeah, so this part, what I'm going to discuss here is the reason why my power stopped, because I still need to figure out the kinks in this. But basically, an issue I've always had with the melon power setup is just how, like, not really tileable it is, and how much just like, oh, this machine needs 4 cables for me. I've discovered that just using XNet, I can save a lot of my issues by just having everything input from one side. So I have my, for example, here, I've got top is input and output. That's for substrate to come out and be inserted into this barrel. We've got fluids being imported from the top, gases imported and exported from the top. For some reason, the exporting isn't working, but yeah, like have a look over here. This connector is set to the sink. It automatically pulls the water and puts it in here and in here. So I'll show you my channel layout. So to start off with, on channel 1, we have our crushing factory, which extracts biomass and inserts it into our PRC. On this channel, we have a sink, which extracts water and inserts into our electrolytic separator and our PRC. On this channel, we have what's supposed to be extraction of ethylene and insertion of ethylene. I don't know why it's not working. I'm going to figure that out, but we'll figure that out later. Oh, maybe it's a... No, it wouldn't be... No, it must be gas. On this one, we have the electrolytic separator. This is extracting the hydrogen and inserting it into the PRC. And on this one, we have extraction of substrate and insertion of substrate into this barrel. I'll figure out what's causing the issue with the gas burning generator after I've done this. Next, we have... Oh yeah, because all of our power's out. So since our power's out, this isn't working. But if it was working, this is a much more compact version of what I had before. So got the motors here, powering this gearbox, powering this belt, and then the same setup as before, some gearboxes to transmit that rotational power over here into this belt, which goes up here into 2 gearboxes, which spin these wheels. So yeah, that's what we've got so far. I'm going to figure out that off camera, and as I probably mentioned at the start of this video, I've sort of had a change of how I want to do the style of these videos. So shortly after I've got this sorted out, I'm going to start working on my next video, which is going to be a much bigger project and going to be, at the moment, entirely centered around resource generation. So I look forward to seeing you for that one.